Well, hey fans, welcome back to another movie review, and today we're talking about Drop. So Drop is a thriller film directed by Christopher Landon starring Meghann Fahy and Brandon Sklenar, and it follows this woman named Violett. She's going on a first date with a guy named Henry who she met on a dating app, and she has left her young son at home with her sister to babysit him. And on this date, she's getting to know the guy, she's having a good time, and she starts getting these mysterious drops on her phone, which when she eventually answers, tells her that if she does not kill her date, her son and her sister will be murdered. So it was fun kind of going to the early screening of this movie and not really knowing a lot about it. For instance, I didn't even know the names of the two lead actors until after I walked out of the theater. And there's something really refreshing about that, going into a theater and not knowing a lot about it. I don't even think that I saw a trailer before going to watch this movie, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time in the theater. I enjoyed the plot, which while simple was very just invigorating, and it really drew you in. Christopher Landon does a great job at just developing these characters in such a short amount of time and developing the plot. Like, the movie's not that long. I think it's about slightly over an hour and a half, and just I had a good time trying to figure out the mystery of who's sending these drops. They do a good job of, kind of keeping you guessing. It could be this person, it could be this person, it could be this person. They make nice callbacks. Like when she's speaking to a certain character, there's a callback to it later, and I think that kind of makes the people feel more real. I enjoy that. And speaking of the people, Meghann Fahy and Brandon Sklenar, they have amazing chemistry in this movie. It really felt like they were on a date. It looked very believable. They're just jokes that they made with each other. It was a really refreshing, I know I've used that word before, just to see a movie of this nature, a thriller that's kind of like a throwback. It knows exactly what it wants to be. It's very similar to the thrillers of the early 2000s and late 90s. And I think Blumhouse has really got this down packed. Now, the budget really wasn't a lot for this. It's $11 million. With how good it is, you expect a movie like this to make its budget back and more. And there is a nice twist at the end when you actually find out who the villain is and what the reason that they're trying to kill Violett's date is. It all makes sense. It's all fun. It is wrapped up in a way that is just utterly amazing. And I think that this is something that everybody can enjoy. One of the things that I also really enjoyed about the film was, and you've seen this a lot in movies lately, especially modern movies, when people get text messages, they appear on the screen so the viewer can see what's being texted. And it didn't feel annoying in this movie. The way they appeared and the way the different fonts show up, I really liked that aspect. And the thing about like the drops, which I think is interesting, in the movie, the villain, who I'm not going to spoil, and the lady, and even Brandon Sklenar's character, Henry, they're all using Android phones to get in this drops. Now, when you hear about somebody getting a drop, it's usually associated with like an Apple phone, an iPhone. So, and everybody knows that Apple has like this rule that villains can't use iPhones in movies. It's something they don't allow. So they make it work in this movie by the main character Violett having some kind of drop
sent me this.
app.
Just dumb kids trying to mess with you.
If like she just decided, hey, I'm just gonna cut my phone off and enjoy
weird.
my time.
Who do you think it is?
My sister
I
take care
don't
of
know.
my son. Then the whole movie's over. There's no way this villain could have gotten his plan to work. But of course, she's the type of mom who is a little nervous about her sister watching her son, especially with what she's been through in her past. It makes sense why she did not turn her phone off or just delete the drop app, which actually that would have worked as well. Just delete the app that allows you to get drops. And speaking of her past, the way the movie opens, you think that we're experiencing like a flash forward to the end of the movie, but the way they come back to that scene later and you find it's actually a flashback, that was done masterfully. It plays in her backstory. It plays to exactly why she behaves the way she does, why she's apprehensive about certain things, about dating, about being away from her son. All that makes sense. And like I said, in such a short amount of time, Christopher Landon developed all of these characters in a way that I thought was just truly great. The score was actually pretty good. Really dialed up the intensity and the drama. Actually, I just looked it up. The composer is Bear McCreary, who did the score for the God of War games, like the newer God of War games. So yeah, I mean, it's a win. That's another win for this movie. The writing, pretty good as well. Like I said, it really felt like the two main characters were on a date. It felt like all of the auxiliary characters were real, from the hostess to the bartender to the guy playing the piano. everybody felt real and fleshed out. And they really do keep you guessing, like, when you want to know who's sending the drops, when you think you know who it is. Like, there were 2 times before they revealed the final villain, I thought I knew who was sending the drops. And then they nix all, you kind of, it wraps up, and then once you find out who's sending the drops, like, you think you know who it is. Then when you finally find out, there's not like, oh, it's this person, oh, it's this person. You kind of find out and you're like, oh, I was wrong. But yeah, it was really enjoyable. And I don't think you can make a sequel to this movie. Although there's a joke at the end where they kind of tease the sequel, but it is played off as a joke. And I did like that. Maybe another movie in this universe, another type of drop-esque movie by Christopher Landon and Blumhouse. Something using technology to force a character to do something of that nature. I think that would be something fun to enjoy. I don't know how they can do it. So in terms of a score, I'm going to give Drop a decent 8.7 out of 10. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. It was refreshing going into the theater, not knowing who the lead actors are, and just wanting to see a good thriller. And it delivered. It delivered in spades. Brandon Sklenar, great actor. I watched Christian Harloff a lot. He wants him to be Batman. I don't think he's Batman. I've seen this movie. But he's a great actor. Maybe he can be Hush. Meghann Fahy. Never heard of her either. Great actress. Hope she moves on to bigger and better things. Both of them, bigger and better things. The villain I have seen in another movie, but I'm not going to spoil too much about them. But the villain was also good and funny, and I enjoyed that role. I'd like to thank you guys again for joining me for this movie review. You can find the full review on YouTube and the website, flipfrogllc.com/flixfrog. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.